Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? What up? As promised, it's Monday night, and I am here. It's time for Tetris. We are live over on Twitch and YouTube. How are the audio levels? Audio sounding okay? We are live on Kick and Facebook. So Twitch, YouTube, Kick, and Facebook. And our good friends over at X, well, sorry about your luck, but you don't get to see us. Oh my gosh, it's the internet's Colin. Oh my gosh, it's Ian Keith. Hello, Bent Squirrely, Dari Benny over on YouTube. The fun is just about to start. As a matter of fact, it's 6:30. Well, at least 6:29 and 3/4. So, let's go. What up, y'all? That's right, it's Monday night, April 13th, 2026. And it is your boy, Colin, hosting Monday Night Mayhem. We've got 5 juicy matchups. Sorry for the little bit of a late start on my end. Jam-packed day. A lot going on at work. And had to set up the baseball field and drop the kid off at practice. And my wife will be going to pick him up in about an hour. But yeah, we're here. And you know who else is here? Is our players. So without further ado, let's go. All right, this match scheduled for 3 fall and will be our opening bout. Introductions, please, on the left-hand side. He is a tapper out of the United Kingdom. He is using a table. There's a short amount of table tappers, and he is indeed one of them. NTSC PB just shy of a 1.2. Give it up for 20 Dan 03. And his opponent, a rivalry between these two have been buzzing all along. But they decided, hey, I'm ready to fight, and I'm going to take on my good friend 20 Dan. Hybrid player, heck of a DAS player, and can dabble with the role with an NTSC PB over a 1.3. Give it up for Hana! Right, so I did mention this is 3-fall, which means best of 5. That's just a fancy way of saying that. Anybody who watches professional wrestling will know, like, the announcer would say, "This match scheduled for 1 fall," which meant, like, you get pinned once, and it's over. Well, if you get pinned 3 times, aka you've lost 3 matches, you lose. So, same diff. All right, you guys want a Colin seed? There you go. 4061C6. Only Das today. Oh, you're feeling sorry for Dan. I'm gonna nerf my playstyle because Dan is gonna lose if I decide to roll. All right, Hana's ready. Your DAS TV is a 1.274. That's true. All right, both players are ready to go, so let's get our opening bout underway. Here we go. Our first game of our first set starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And same piece sets has indeed been confirmed, so yes, welcome in everybody. Monday night. Glad to be here. No better way to start off your week than with a dose of Tetris. Am I right? And it looks like Hana is not going to start off this game with a Tetris. Has to do a little bit of burning and goes with this column 2. Finally knocks down their first Tetris. 20 Dan already on the board with 2 and is perfect in first 8. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to nudge this up just a little bit. And turn this down in my headphones. If only a dose of Tetris would fix the hand hurdy juice I have. The hand hurdy juice. I would go get a refund on that. All right, 126 for 20 Dan, 165 for Hana. Hana has really picked up the pace ever since I called them out for the slower start here, so. Long Bart in, another Tetris for Hana, as 20 Dan continuing the cleanup. And Dan looked like he was going to set up. In fact, he is set up for a dirty Tetris, but oh man, no bar. And spoiler in chat, 20 Dan is toast. 178, the final score, says nice seed, Colin. Well, you get what you pay for. Hana on the board first, GG. All right, 20 Dan's ready to put this game behind them. I'm going to give a quick refresh to Hana, as there was a little bit of stream buffer there. – And both players are rip-roaring and ready to go, so let's not dawdle. Hana on the march. Will 20 Dan tie things up? Let's find out, because game number 2 starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Max in the chat saying Monday Night Mayhem followed by Monday Night Raw. Indeed. Just like Friday Night Fights is followed by SmackDown. It's almost as if we stole the idea from professional wrestling. Right, but thinking back at that game number 1, 20 Dan had that hot start and then all of a sudden fell apart and allowed Hana to overtake him in the score and win that game pretty quickly. So 20 Dan's going to look to shift gears a little bit and try to have a little bit better of a game number 2. Meanwhile, Hana is going to look to ride that momentum of that early dub to take an early 2-0. So we'll see what happens as we turn this page. Both players on the board, 69,000. Hey now. We just need Dynamite Tetris on Wednesday now. We used to have Euro friendlies, but Sunny has stepped aside. But we do have Square Up now with our friend Ian Keith, who's in the chat. You want a Wednesday type friendlies match? Well, check out your boy Ian Keith right here on this channel, Wednesday nights. I think it's one Wednesday a month right now. I'm not changing my show name and you can't bake me, says Ian Keith. Every other Wednesday. Thank you for the clarification. Bi-weekly. Speaking of Tetris players, or Tetris streamers who don't stream Tetris anymore, welcome in, Kingsman. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good burn. To which he's going to say, I don't need to stream Tetris. I've got a great team behind me now. Yeah, it's amazing what happens. You can take your foot off the gas pedal when you have a good team backing you up. Am I right? If Kingsman stole your ELO, you never deserved to have it in the first place. All right, 20 Dan was up a bit high there, but managed to clean it up pretty quickly. Get a long bar Tetris, 245, 258 for Hana, 55 lines in the books. We'll see transition at 130 lines, for those of you who don't know that. Of course, we have new viewers all the time. See a lot of first-time chats today, as well as I've been doing a little bit of shameless self-promotion at work and social events to say, hey, I'm streaming Tetris, come watch, I could use the viewers. Another Tetris there for Hana, 330, the area code of Akron, Ohio. I wasn't playing the best yesterday, and he outplayed me, and Moodus did too. Well, okay, I would believe Moodus. But Kingsman? And 20 Dan knocking down another quick Tetris there to go to 327. Hana with a double and a Tetris go to 380. So, kind of what we saw in the first game, where Hana out to the lead halfway to 19, but 20 Dan is in a much cleaner state, and already his score is much better. Long bar in, another Tetris going to take him to 374, so Hana has about a 1 Tetris lead. And both players having to do a little bit of delayed burning, so going to slow them down a bit. 20 Dan unable to use those long bars, has to stash them all the way left, gets a third one, slams it home for a Tetris to cross the 400,000 point mark. Hana going to slam one down, go to 450. Max in the chat says, I believe in the 2K trophies. Oh no, that was tired. Max says, I had a 930K earlier, getting closer to max number 2. Well, good luck on your second max out. Some of us are still chasing our first. I'm not one of them, though. Not because I've maxed out, because I've retired. Best decision I ever made, by the way. I highly recommend it. Bar in Tetris for 20 Dan, 470 now. And a Tetris for Hana goes to 521. Hana on pace here, could get a 600k with perfect play. Has a couple of burns, actually, but... Again, a 600k transition's good, but a better board into 19 is always better. Long bar in Tetris, filling out the left-hand side. And is set up once again. Nice tuck of the J. 20 Dan also getting up a bit high, has a T-spin opportunity, and dead drops the Z piece, but a long bar comes in to save the day. And 20 Dan going to recover nicely. Long bar in Tetris into transition at 545. Long bar in Tetris for Hana can get one more, currently at 593. Gets the bar. 617 transition for Hana. Off we run, level 19. Long bar in another Tetris. Hana taking no prisoners on this game number 2, but 20 Dan giving them a fight. Long bar in another Tetris down the middle. And misses the T-spin. Now is double long bar dependent. And an over tap of the Z piece there. So 20 Dan in cleanup mode, halfway toward the next box. As Hana continuing to play clean. 694 plays 582. Hana starting to break away here. 100,000 points in the lead. Nice Tetris there after the T makes that final adjustment to flip it upright instead of taking the skim. Wants to remain as efficient as possible. And certainly Hana, a player not afraid to push the aggression on these 19 speeds again, has a 1.2 with DAS, which is a very, very good score. In fact, I think there's only a handful of people that have a 1.3, and I think she's like 2 off, so... Long bar in Tetris, 808, 670 for 20 Dan. So unfortunately, 20 Dan falling further and further behind. You can't blame the pieces, because Hana's making short work of them. However, that misdrop for Hana could be the slowdown 20 Dan needs. And 20 Dan gonna stack up, but not get that T piece all the way, or the square over. Gets a long bar Tetris, now can get something to the left. An J or an I piece now could turn into an I dependency. But plug it up with the J as the I piece was in the window. And Hana still clean. However, this is very high. Did not have DAS for that long bar. And yeah, needs another bar right now. And it is not coming in time. 847, the final score. So 20 Dan, 848 is the target. 848. That's 130,000 points. Long bar in Dirty Tetris. That'll help. Only about 30 lines to go until that transition to 29 speed. Now, 20 Dan, not known for the fastest of taps, but does have a little bit of playability on 29, but definitely does not want to have to make up any points in 29 speeds. And yeah, these pieces just burning away the pace, unfortunately. 805, again, needs a Tetris and change. Is set up. Long bar in Tetris, 839. 849 would be enough. 847, 848. That's actually good enough, but play this out. Continuing, just know that you've won game number 2 and have tied up the set 1-1. GG. Whew. Spicy game number 2 there. 20 Dan taking it all the way to 29. So today's random topic that we're going to talk about, which I'll get into once these players have readied up and we start on 18. But I got a new Pepsi today. And I'll talk about that in just a moment as both players are rip-roaring and ready to go. So let's count this down. Game number 3, a pivotal one. We'll see who has the advantage in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So I got a Pepsi from the grocery store yesterday. It was on sale. It was $1 for a can. Now, you may be thinking, like, what, $1 for a can of Pepsi? That seems high. Well, not when you consider that a 12-pack of Pepsi right now is almost $11. But I digress. Anyway, so I got it. But it is Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. It has fiber in it. Listen to these ingredients. Carbonated water, cane sugar, soluble corn fiber, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural flavor, stevia extract, and caffeine. I'm not thrilled about the stevia because I can definitely taste it, and I don't like the taste of aspartame or stevia. I think it tastes gross, but it's not bad. How have my bowel movements been? Well, so far so good. I did have Chipotle for dinner, and I'm drinking this prebiotic Coke or Pepsi. So, check in with me after the stream. I might have to go take care of something in the apartment, if you know what I mean. Oh, I think Hana might be taking care of something in the apartment right now if good pieces do not come. But Hana working it down. Probably waiting for this beautiful, finally. Got the pieces that they need. But now having to take some burns. And I don't know if Hana was thinking there might have been a spin there or just didn't know what to do with that S piece. But 20 Dan not in scoring position either. In fact, board getting up pretty high for 20 Dan. Gets that bar over. A square would be lovely. Oh, the heck of the bar! Oh, 20 Dan, no! 20 Dan gonna top out at 133. So Hana, you've got a chase down. 134. That bar hang for 20 Dan, awful. Hung over in column 8, just really boogered the board. Is this a version of Tetris they're playing different? It is the standard. So some folks have the competition ROM, or excuse me, the competition cartridge. I shouldn't say ROM. The competition cartridge, where it's like a training mode. And I believe Hana is playing on a custom hack where it has changed the colors to be more colorful on the levels than what we're normally seeing of red, white, and blue. You see like the pinks, the blues, and the whites. And 146 chase down is good. And Hana takes game number 3 and is now on match point. And 20 Dan, because we talked about bowel movements, right? I think it's only fair that we introduce this.
Oh no, I'm going to let it go, man. It's going to come out. Oh no, Kingsman.
Oh no. And Hana is playing Neon Dark Mode in version 6 of Tetris Gem. So that's why it looks a little bit different. Thank you for letting us know what that ROM hack was. Or the adjustments. Alright, well, both players are ready to go, so we will continue on. This is game number 4, match point for Hana. Will they win, or will 20 Dan force a decider? Let's find out. Go! 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So coming up next at the conclusion of this one, you may want to consider getting those thumbs warmed up, because we will have a triple threat. Anpu takes on Vance, takes on Tired. That's right, and Anpu, our current half of the tag team champions, the Orange Mice, won that over on our last Super Show. Is gonna have to defend that title coming up. Tetris Reckoning is approaching. The road to Reckoning starts now. you know, we've seen 20 Dan here pretty often. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing 20 Dan try to make a play. You know, he was the other half of the tag team champions, the cleanup crew with Ian Keith. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Okay, he's able to tap that bar over. Crisis averted, but not completely out of it. But yes, this, the cleanup crew was the previous tag team champion, and unfortunately fell to the Orange Mice at our previous Super Show. So 20 Dan, you know, perhaps maybe thinking about getting back up on that horse and whipping Ian Keith into shape, saying, hey, let's take the cleanup crew back in action. As these players will compete for the contender spot. But these two players right here competing for literally bragging rights, as it's 156 to 194. Hana out in front by a Tetris and a half. They didn't put me in the queue because I'm the least notable player. Well, actually, you're just the third person on the list, and I can only do, like, 2. So that's why. If I could put 3 names, I would have put Anpu and Vance, and then I would have probably put somebody else, and then I would put you. All right, bar in, another Tetris for 20 Dan, trying to cut into that lead. 22-8 plays 24-2. I know that's a really weird way of saying it, but I was committed, so I did it. Bar in, another Tetris, 266 now for Hana. I did mention that we do have a Super Show starting to form, and it'll be soon. But we also have a boatload of regionals coming up, so you don't want to miss that. We, of course, have CTWC Midwest coming up the weekend of the 24th. Goes to the 24th to 26th at the Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee. Then we'll have CTWC France on May 1st, which takes place in Montpellier. And then we will have Detroit, Michigan. That's right, Motor City Mayhem returns to Detroit, Michigan on May 9th. And then, of course, our World Championship in Pasadena, California. I've booked my tickets. I have my hotel. Now I just need to learn how to roll so I can compete with these players. June 5th through 7th. Oh, and I think 20 Dan wishes he could roll right here because this board is out of control. 371. He is finished. Hana at 408 takes game number 4. And congratulations. Play this out because you're on the big screen. And we got a big Hana. So we will adjust Hana as best we can here. There we go. We'll watch Hana play it out. 480 at 105. That's not bad. On pace for another 600k transition. So we'll let Hana mull in this. Long part in. Dirty Tetris. And 20 Dan saying, man, I have problems. I think it's just misdrops, man. You played well, especially that game number 2. That was a good one. But made some misdrops. So misdrops will kill you, especially when you're up that high. And as the king of misdrops, I know. But 20 Dan, always a pleasure to have you here. Of course, you are one cool cat, and I enjoy restreaming you. So thanks for playing. Ooh, that J piece might be tough here for Hana. Oh, able to get that nice little quick tap. Long bar down the right will only be a triple. So she's going to either going to take a triple into transition and now start stacking up on row 1. Cleaner board gets that square. The easiest piece to get over on 19 is the square. But needs a bar, and the bar coming way too late. 549, gives up the goose, but hey, takes the dub, so GG. And coming up next, Anpu, Vance, and Tired will go in our triple threat. So I'll go set that up, and we'll be right back. Hang on. Give me a second to get these cameras in line. All right, we are back, and we have a triple threat action for you tonight. Introductions, please. In the red corner, DAS player out of Canada with an NTSC PB of a 1.2. Give it up for Anpu. And in the purple corner, a player who has been a mainstay here on Tetris Friendlies, was a contender for the Upstarts belt, and is now here to face Anpu and Tired in a triple threat, dassing out of the United States with a 1.2 PB. Give it up for Vance! And last but certainly not least, the most tired player in Tetris, Also playing the DAS playstyle with an NTSC PB of 1.1. Give it up for Tired! Alright, this is a triple threat. And what does that mean? Well, I'll show you. Or... yes, there we go. 3 players will play simultaneously for the highest score. What does that mean? We just saw it in a 1v1, except now we are going to face each other 3 ways. If you are the top finisher, you will get 2 points. If you're second place, means you get 1. And if you're in last place, well, it sucks to be you, you get nothing. First to 7 wins the match. Easy as pie, am I right? Alright, I suppose you guys would like a Colin seed, yeah? So seed is in the chat. Boom, boom. 0505C1 is the call. So finish up your warm-ups, then you can put in that seed. Look at these nerds, says Twitch Jeff Bezos. Welcome in, Jeff Bezos. It says you're a first-time chat, which I don't believe it because you've been following us since 2023. Alright, Vance saying, I'm ready. Anpu placing in that seed, and Tired is just doing Tired things, playing 19-5, it looks like. And just a reminder to our players to go when I do the countdown. Don't wait for my voice. Wait till you see the countdown in chat. That'll ensure a simultaneous start. Anpu, Tired, ready up! There we go. Both players ready. Or actually, all 3. So let's go. Our triple threat, Anpu, Vance, and Tired. Game number 1 starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And Tired's cam is very big, so that's why we see pretty much the eye. I'll see if I can make that a little bit better for everybody, but I mean that's what we're working with. So I suppose I could do something like this. Yes, it's the eye of the tired. Staring into your soul. Of course, welcome in, Toast. I mean, that's pretty much the best I'm going to be able to get you here. Staring intently at those pieces. I'm not a big fan of this layout, by the way. Tyler, if you're listening, this could use some improvements. I mean, it's not like it's a bad layout. It's just the cam space is awkward, especially with like what players use for the stencil. It's the eye of the tired. It's the thrill of the fight. It's kind of hard singing Eye of the Tiger when you're hearing Cyberpunk by White Bat Audio. Now the 2 other players need a song. All right. So Anpu. I don't know of a song that would be good for Anpu. And Tired's making some awkward placements here. I mean, he did say he was tired, and yeah, it's pretty evident with the way he's placing these pieces, but should be able to get out of this mess. Let's give a quick score check. We're 50 lines through, and I haven't given them a single one. 224 from Anpu, 240 from Tired, and 140 from Vance. So the middle player bringing it up the rear, but we are only halfway through the 18 speed, where we'll see that speed increase again at 130 lines, both players playing on 18. And there's a long part in. Tetris for Tired, 354. Anpu at 338. Vance in a little bit of trouble. Okay, gets that bar in a beautiful L piece. You can kind of see him leaning into it both left and right, trying to get those pieces all the way over. Little body English, as Burb Wizard would say. You know, the more you lean into it, the faster the piece moves over. That's why the rollers are so good. Because they just roll their bodies. They move their entire bodies left and right. Has nothing to do with the funny stuff they do with their fingers. Oh, no. Long bar in, Tetris for Vance, 285, 386 for Anpu, and 446 for Tired, who is way out in front. 2 Tetris lead over the current second place. All right, we are at the 100 line turn here. 537 at 100 lines for Tired. That is a great score. 479 at 105 is still not bad, just a completely different pace than what Tired is doing. And then 376 at 103, a bit off the pace, is Vance, but kind of saw that from the beginning of this game. And we've also have a little bit of stream stuttering, so we'll give a quick refresh to our player. Yeah, looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Just keep playing. Just keep playing. Player is offline, but we've got him back. Maybe some dropped frames. We are about to hit transition. 469. Hey now for Vance, who still has the possibility of a 500K, which is not bad by any means, but Tired on pace here to get a 650. Bar in Tetris can get one more. A skim and needs a bar. Long bar in Tetris, 658 for Tired. 607 for Anpu, 519. Add a Tetris code of 543 for Vance. So off we run, level 19. Vance making sure that left side is nice and filled out. A J piece would be lovely. It's going to show 572 now, starting to stack up for a Tetris. 710 for Tired, but this board getting up a bit high. Needs to be very careful here. Yeah, a little bit of indecision. The hang of the square, and yeah, that's done. Tired is toast. 712, the final score. So you've got a chance both, but hold on. Anpu, hang of the bar, column 8, gets another one over. Luckily, target 713 if you want to overtake Tired. That is just a Tetris away for Anpu. And a little bit more for Vance. But Vance, nice clean board. Not afraid to take the burns. Bar in, gets a Tetris, 665. Anpu with that Tetris going to take the lead, 732. And there is nothing that Tired can do but just sit and watch to see if Vance is going to complete this chase down. This game one hangs in the balance based on if Vance is able to complete the chase down. A Tetris and change now will certainly get you at least second place, Vance. But you still got to think you've got another active player, so you can't afford to sell out. Man, these pieces, not easy. Did not have the dash after the tuck. Gets that long bar over. There's the Tetris. 7-13. Gonna take second place. Anpu a full 100,000 points in the lead, but is also ahead in the line count. Now both players into level 25. Anpu about to transition to 26 with the next Tetris in single. And you can see Tired's reaction right there. Not too pleased that going to get 0 points off that monster transition. Why do I sell for a 1.2? Well, because that's what you do. All right, 766 for Vance, 829 for Anpu. Anpu into level 27. 770 here, level 26 for Vance. Gonna take the burn into level 27 now. All eyes on these two players. Bar in Tetris, 807 for Vance, 898 for Anpu. Next slide, please. A little indecision with that T-piece for Vance. Unfortunately, going to slow him down a bit. 845 is still within reach, but needs a bar. Needs to get the bar now. And it is not coming. Bar and hangs it. 846, the final score. And Anpu into level 29 at 943. Going to clutch out the big dub there. So we'll award our points. We have 2 points. Headed over to our first place finisher. 1 point for Vance. And Tired will remain at 0. So GG for our game number 1. We're going to increment our seed and move on to game number 2. And both players are ready to go. Tired saying, I'm going to play Principled. Well, we're going to find out because game number 2 starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. If you sell, I'm not buying it, says Ninja of Ninjas, who we will be seeing later tonight, has challenged our Twitch TV champion, Remy, to a matchup to try to take the belt back. We'll see if Ninja of Ninjas is able to do that, though. And you know, the Twitch belt is open to anybody. Well, within reason. I mean, if you're really good, then you can't fight for it. What do you mean, not Mari? Does the slide... I thought I updated the slides. Does it still show Mari on the promotional slides? Let's find out. It's definitely still Mari. Okay, I'll fix that. You know what I think happened? I think I changed it on the Monday Night Mayhem, but not on the Friday Night Fights. And for some reason, I have 2... I have 2 of what's-her-face. Yeah, Twitch TV champion. Let's fix that. Oh, no, Tired! Tired, you said you were gonna play good! And you topped out at 120, 852, so another 0 coming your way. And you know what I think? I think this is called for.
Colin is to blame for everything.
Oh, thank you, Cleveland Tom. Tired, unfortunately, will be taking home another donut, so it is 2-horse race, Anpu and Vance. Vance would love the opportunity to take the win here to tie it up against Anpu. Meanwhile, Anpu would love the opportunity to turn this into a 4-game advantage. So We'll see what's able to happen. We are 50 lines in the books, 158 for Anpu, 218 for Vance. There you go. It's fixed now. It now shows Remy. So, sorry about that. I think what I need to do is I need to just redo these scenes. I mean, because I'm the only streamer pulling double duty. So because I float through Monday Night Mayhem and Friday Night Fights, I need to find the assets that are shared and put those in a shared folder. Because I'm maintaining, you know, a lot of graphics and a lot of it's duplicates, so. But I just don't have the time to screw around with the scenes. Because I know the minute I do and I get comfortable, Tyler's going to be like, hey guys, new scenes, here you go. $298 for Vance, $307 for Anpu. Bar in, Tetris for Vance go to $321 to take the lead. You know what, Ninja? I got a lot going on here, man. I got a lot going on. And honestly, I thought you were being like a little sarcastic when you're saying you need to update it with the current champion, saying like you're gonna win the champion. And I was kind of like, okay, whatever. You're just being a little cheeky. But then after you said it a couple times, I'm like, all right, maybe he's telling me something I should know. And he's not just being cheeky. Because that is something you would do, right? You would be like, hey, you know, you need to update that with the current champion, me. Yeah, I do have a lot going on. I'm hosting. I'm drinking my fiber Pepsi. I'm getting text messages from people at work, text messages from the baseball team. My life's busy, man. I got a LinkedIn notification right now. Nice 5 and below adjustment there for Vance. 440 plays 425. Vance out in front. Yeah, the LinkedIn notification, in case anybody cares, is about Mythos, the AI vulnerability, where Claude is like, hey, I can just scan your code for vulnerabilities and basically hack you. It's freaking the world out. So, like, Microsoft obviously got a first look at it because they're so big, but it's a little scary. I'm never cheeky, just Ninja. Well, we'll see if you are still that way after tonight. You know, Remy cut a promo, did you? I'm just kidding. Imagine cutting a promo for the Twitch belt. Couldn't be me. You know, speaking of the Twitch belt, well, first we got transition 538 for Vance. Anpu will join him with the next Tetris, having to set up a couple of delayed burns because there's no bar. Yeah, will burn into transition at 526. And is A-okay. Both players dealing with a drought. Yeah, and these pieces left and right here for Vance. Not easy to deal with, but he's doing the best that he can. Nice little quick tap to get that piece over. That T opens up the well. Give him the bar for the reward. Bar in. Bang a Tetris down. 587 plays 574. But yes, the Twitch belt. I actually challenged Anpu when Anpu was the Twitch champion. And that was a match of all time. I can guarantee you that. Go back and watch it, if not just for the pure entertainment value of me being a complete doofus. But that was a good match, though. I enjoyed it. It was the first time I ever got to play Anpu. You can see he's shaking his head right there. He knows. He's like, yeah, you know, it was actually pretty fun. You know, playing a 600k player as a 1.2 DAS player. And, you know, the match still being somewhat entertaining. I, of course, wore my purple tie, you know, because it was the purple belt. I wanted to give it all the extra flair and ham that I could. I think Vance might be looking for a little bit of extra flair here. That's a beautiful L. Would love a J now. Or J and then L piece. Whatever. I don't know my L's from J's. I am a literal child. Oh, nice burns there for Vance. 726 bar in Tetris. Anpu, oh, able to get that bar over. I saw that. That was a little bit of a Tapperoonie situation, but we'll give it to him. Another bar in for the... Oh, I guess that was a double only. 747 plays 790. Anpu in a dig. Vance, nice sloping stack. Bar in Tetris. 823 plays 753. And Tired is just going to work on 19 speed, doing this warm-up. Has basically warmed up this entire game, courtesy of that early top out. You can see Vance continuing to fill out the left. Bar in another Tetris. Beautiful square. Did not stash that bar to the left. I thought it, or the square to the left, but there's a reason he's here and I'm in the booth. And that's not just because I'm retired, because I am just dog Marts at this game. 901 at a Tetris, 936, 887 for Anpu. Anpu about 60,000 points back now. Is going to have to go efficient here. Cannot afford to take many burns. And a bar in another Tetris there for Vance. 972, 1 away from the max out. Bar in, there it is. Max out A08 into level 29. And Vance going to try to sneak in some more points there. So topping out A10. Anpu, you've got a chance. Actually, a Tetris should do it. A Tetris did not have DAS for that bar. Did not have DAS. Oh no! The lost DAS. Oh, he gets a bar. Oh my god. And 31. Are you kidding me? I can't believe it. Vance gonna see it too. I can't believe it. Anpu, that last ditch effort, stashing those pieces to get the Tetris. Oh my word. GG. Oh, the reaction says it all. Right there. Banger of a finish. Holy smokes. So, Anpu, 2 more points on the board. And Vance gonna get 1, bringing our scores to 4 points, 2 points, and 0. Yes, it would have been super tragic if that lost DAS caused you to finish in 2nd place. And there was a 65 bars on that game. That's pretty sick. I know. I wish you did a promo. I would have loved if we did one. I had one ready to go, too. But yeah, great match there. And Tired, I hope you enjoyed that one. Tired's ready to get into it. Both these players going to probably take just a second to cool down. All right, we've got 3 ready players for this game number 3. Anpu with a commanding lead over these 2, but Vance, hot on his tails. We'll see if he can score the big one here, or if Tired will get on the board in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And Tired, I will adjust your camera. Thank you for giving me a little bit more workspace. We can maybe make this a little bit more presentable now. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We've got room to work with now. Can I go more this way? Yes. Oh, yeah. This is good. This is real good. Sorry for making everybody seasick, but... Tired topping out again. I couldn't even fix the camera in time. And Tired has fallen asleep, it looks like. 28,000. Just rotate the boards and game info 90 degrees. Problem solved. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. That's what we'll do. Yes. right, so yeah, unfortunate early top out there again for Tired, so not gonna be able to get anything. You know what actually I could do? Let's go in studio mode. Let's do a little bit of creativity. I know, Colin's being creative. Uh-oh. Not trust. All right, 222 or 227 for Vance, 258 for Anpu. Yeah, look at how good this looks. I darkened the board. So it's like he's not really playing. That deserves a redo. Tired was seasick from the camp being moved around. Yes, it's true. I was moving him all around, so. All right, 101 lines. 307 for Vance, 341 for Anpu. Both players clean. Vance with a delayed burn, bar in, gets a Tetris, 332, flat stack. Anpu with a sloping stack. Does have that square-shaped hole over in columns 2 and 3. Turns it into an LJ, now a J. Bar in for the Tetris. Still looking for that J piece. Going to use the I to fill it instead. 387 now. A bar in Tetris for Vance, 378. Vance is ahead in about 5 lines, so Anpu's lead is bigger than it would appear. It's like that, your rear view mirror. Well, not your rear view, but your side view mirror on the passenger side. Bar in, another Tetris for Vance. Go to 400, place 411. We are gearing up for transition. We are a mere 10 lines away for Anpu, 6 lines away for Vance. And now if Anpu wins here, this is a... It'll be match point if he wins. As a matter of fact, it'll be match point if he gets second place. So he is guaranteed a match point here. If he wins, he will only have to finish in second place to win in the next game. If he gets second place here, he will need to win outright. And if we are firm believers in history, we know that Anpu is a very strong player and very capable of taking that game in, of course, for... Oh, but hold on. Anpu in trouble. 518, the final score. He is topped out. 553 for Vance. And Vance is good for this game number 3 and will take 2 points. Anpu will take 1 to go up to 5. Anpu is still on match point, but now will need to win outright. All right, Anpu is ready to go. I think Vance is just relaxing the fingers for a moment. Okay, so what is my win condition? So Vance, right now, you just need to finish in first place twice. And Anpu needs to not win. So this is where Tired might be helpful to outpace Anpu, right? If Tired is able to get a score here and Vance is able to win, that will put Vance and Anpu in a game point situation. I don't believe Tired has any chance of winning, but he can certainly play spoiler. And our two players in contention are ready to go. Tired is just, you know, he had all of 18, 19, and almost 29 to warm up. So, hold on a second. Is this a... Yes, this is an actual game. This was not Transition Trainer. I think he's going for a little redemption here on that seed. Seeing what he could do, so... Yeah, 709 he ends up topping out with on that previous seed, the 27 seed. So yeah, that's pretty dang good. No, you're fine. So, okay, we'll work out the scenario. I gotta make a phone call too, so let me get this thing counted down. I'll make a call, and then I'll be right back. So, we'll just wait for Tired to ready up. And let's count this down, because our three players are ready to go. Anpu, with a win here, will win outright. Vance and Tired are going to try to keep him at bay. Let's count it down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, sorry about that. Thanks for everybody being patient. We are 30 lines in the books, 126 for Vance, 123 for Tired, and 101 for Anpu. So this is what the scenario needs to be with Tired and Vance out in front of Anpu to keep the party going. Now, we did say that mathematically, Tired is still in it, and I'll explain how. So Tired will need to win straight out. So Tired needs to win 4 games in a row. All right, and Anpu and Vance have to share getting second place. If Anpu wins, it's over. If Vance can finish first and then finish second place, he will win as long as Anpu finishes in third place for one of those games. But Tired will need to win absolutely all of them to force a 6-6-6. And if he wins all 4, then he can have the possibility, but just Anpu cannot finish in second place all 2 of those 4 times. So the triple threat has become a handicap match. No, the triple threat has become a triple threat with somebody who had an early top out. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Because Tired had a really strong game 1. He just fell apart after transition. Had like a 600 transition and then topped out afterward. And Anpu kind of struggle bus in here. 249 at 67, 260 at 75. So Vance also struggling a bit as both players having to do some burns. Anpu burning up a little bit higher up on the board. But there have just been no bars to score. Yeah, I don't like the analogy when we say, like, they're teaming together. Because it's not really like a team-up situation or a work-together situation. It's just a... Both have to beat Anpu. It's a... Both players must do their job of beating Anpu. That's all it is to it. You know, that is the slogan. Uh-oh. Anpu with a slight overdass. But gets a long bar at Tetris. Is long bar dependent over on the left-hand side, so it'll be a minute before he scores. He'll need 2 bars. Yeah, there's that bar. Takes a couple singles. Bar in Tetris for Anpu, 328. 383 for Vance. Vance a little bit messy, high up on the board, has the W of death, so really needs a bar. And gonna go flat instead. Beautiful solve. Is almost out of it. Had a kind of little hyper jolt of that square to get over there. I'm kind of getting square bursted. That is not good. But still hanging in there. Perseverance is key. Oh, the Das misshift adds a whole mess to the center of the board. Needs to get a piece over to the left. And yeah, I don't know if Vance is going to be able to survive this. That left side looks to be completely cut off for Das. And yeah, 399 has topped out. So Tired has already passed that score. Anpu has yet to. Anpu hits transition halfway up the board at 369. Does manage to get the well uncovered and is just taking safety burns. Knows that the target score is 399. So 400k would get him at least a second place finish. And will put him for real on a match point. And Tired right now at 575, halfway up the board. Gonna have to do some cleanup as well. So big cleanup situation needed here for Tired. Does have about a 160,000 point lead here over Anpu. But cannot afford to rest as this board is starting to get higher and higher. Anpu does have that long bar dependency. Oh, no! And Anpu at 430 lost Das as well. Kind of had an overshift onto the right-hand side and topped out. So Tired is on the board. And this is what we talked about in the, I guess, the opener of this set. Tired now on the board with 2. And Anpu will get that 1 point. So Anpu cannot finish in first or second if the party wants to keep on going. It's going to be Tired having to win here and win again and advance to get second place back-to-back so we can have a finishing game. If Anpu... If any of our players get an early top out, yeah, that's it. And I just want to point something out after we're ready to go, because this is quite funny. So Anpu lives in Canada. And apparently, the sun has started setting. So here we go. Let's count this down, and I'll tell you where I'm going with this in a second. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, so you see that color block behind Anpu? That, like, light yellow? Kind of like a canary color? Well, that was color matched to Anpu's walls at the beginning of the set. The sun has gone down. Oh, hello, Monthly Tetris. Thank you so much for the raid. Merry Christmas, Mr. Christmas. I love it. Party of 43. Thank you so much for the raid, Van Dweller. How are you, and how was the match? It was Tetris time in Violet, if I remember correctly. which we saw Tetris Time and Violet on Monday, or on Friday, so... But where am I going with this? The color has changed in Anpu's background because the sun has set. So I'm going to just take this color source and I'm going to reselect the color and boom. It's like it never happened. All right, nice stacking here for Tired. Did get that Z piece all the way over where it needs to go. Nice little spin there, but is going to have a little bit of a hole to contend with. And there's the bar for the relief, and the Tetris make it a double. 123, our current leader, Tired. 126 now as Vance takes the lead. And 61,000 for Anpu. And Ampu's board looking a bit suspicious. Oh, a misdrop of the Z piece. So Anpu perhaps giving our two contenders the opportunity to outscore here and keep the party going. Whoever thought of this was a genius. I know. I just wish I could give credit to who it was, because I don't know who. I mean, it wouldn't be an issue if everybody actually used, like, the same dimensions for a camera. And I said it before you rated here, Van Dweller, that I'm not a big fan of this layout either, because the camera dimensions are different than what most people use, so it is difficult to try to line up the cams very well. Like, I feel like the boards could be bigger. All right, 60 lines through here. Current leader is still Vance at 267, 245 for Tired, 131 for Anpu. All right, the kid has made it home from baseball practice, so. All right, Anpu at 184 has really just fallen back behind on this one, which is very unfortunate. But if you're Tired, this is the opportunity you need. So you have to make the most of it. Currently sitting at second place, 302, 363 for the current leader. Bar in Tetris for Vance and Anpu. Both knocked down Tetris' Tired, knocks one down as well. Both players low, stacking for the score. One thing I've noticed about Anpu's DAS in this game was what we're not used to seeing is a little bit of, like, indecision where the pieces go. You know, normally he's more committed to where the piece goes. You kind of see he's bouncing to the left and to the right more than where the placements are. And I don't know if that's him trying to wall charge or, you know, if he ends up over-dassing and having to make that last-second adjustment. So we're going to want to keep an eye on Anpu to see if that goes away on the 19 speed, because we are about a mere 40 lines away. 437 for Vance, still the current leader. 358 for Tired, takes a triple down the center, goes to 364, and 299 for Anpu, bringing it up the rear, but finally crossing the 300,000 point mark. DJ Mr. Boros here saying, what is this black magic trickery? That's probably when I was adjusting the colors. And it is just getting darker and darker at Anpu's house. Like, the background that I just changed the color of has gotten dark again. All right, so interesting solves are going to be needed here for Anpu. But, of course, the right pieces, they fall. A T-piece would be lovely. Let's see if he holds out for it. He doesn't. The T-piece was one piece there, but a little too late. Goes for the S-spin. Nails it. 374, 393 for Vance, filling out the left. Nice sloping stack. Left to right, bar in, bang a Tetris, goes to 516 437 for Tired, waiting for the bar, gets the long bar, and will slam home a Tetris. Has 2 Tetrises available until the 19 speed. Anpu still has 10 lines to give, and Vance will transition with that burn there at 519. Bar in, gets a quick Tetris, 543 now. 486 transition for Tired, and Anpu with 1 left in the tank at 423. Could be looking at a possible 450 transition. And probably going to be a 440. Yeah, we'll take the Tetris here, so it was at 447. So, level 19... Again, Anpu has to finish at least 2nd place here to win. And needs a slowdown from Tired or Vance. And both players are playing clean Tetris. Nice little Corian adjustment there for Vance. At 577, gets a T to fill out the hole. And a delayed burn bar in Tetris, 605. 477 delayed burn setup there for Anpu. Is 1 Mino shy, is now Tetris ready, waiting for the long bar. Bar is going to show and hit home a Tetris. Goes to 505, 577 for Tired. Goes to Akibar with the long bar, gets a long bar Tetris, as does Vance. So really, yes, this is going to come down to the wire, how these players play on the 19 speeds. All players here dassing. So the game will come to a conclusion on level 29, maybe a little 29.5 because Anpu is a keyboard cheater. Bar in Tetris, 570. And you kind of see Anpu again with that, what I talked about earlier about the little overshift and had to adjust. Needs to have full dash, needs a J. Where's the J? Gets the J piece, gets it over. And fills out the left side quite nicely. Gets a long bar, gets the Tetris. Great survival there from Anpu. That was looking pretty scary. 611 now. 679 for Tired. 694 for Vance. Vance looking for another max out. We had a max out in game number 1 between double. It was actually a double max out, Anpu and Vance. If you didn't see game 1, go check that out. Bar in Tetris for Vance, 730. 652 for Anpu, 710 for Tired, who's bored, falling apart. Did get the Tetris for some relief. Not going to have to go to work and burn this all the way back down. So he is not going to be scoring for a while here. That is going to give the opportunity for Vance to continue piling on the points and perhaps give Anpu the opportunity to overtake Tired. In fact, it is getting very close now. 60,000 points separating Anpu and Tired. Vance is still clean-ish. Gets that bar over, has an LJ, gets the L piece, gets the J piece. Takes a skim, gets the bar, gets the score. And now Anpu has the well open, gets a bar, gets a Tetris. 726, currently level 26, 763 for Tired, who's cleaned up the board, is back to clean, but a couple mischiefs here. Gonna slow him down again. Little lazy T-spin there, and that square does not get all the way over. Gets that bar over, nice quick tap. You kind of see the camera just go crazy. So 783, 766. Anpu is clean. There's a double. There's the Tetris. 804 overtakes Tired. 822 for Vance. And Vance is in a world of hurt. Needs a bar. Where's the bar? There's no bar at 822. Vance is done. And 822, a single for Tired would overtake Vance, but there is no pieces coming to take the single. Where's the single? Gets the single into 29 at 825. But Anpu at 850 gonna overtake them both in level 28. 1 line away from transition, gets the win. And Anpu, with a monstrous performance, will get the full 2 points here. Tired will get the commiseration 1 point for that game. And we will finish Anpu with 8, Vance 4, and Tired. Congratulations. The big Anpu! Getting it done! Like a boss. And yeah, that's all the crapping I can get because of this scene. So, nice hair, Anpu. Nice eyes. You did it. GG. Oh, man. All right, coming up next, we'll have Marts taking on M149. So, stick around. Marts has been on a heater. Let's see what he continues to do. We'll be right back. You're welcome, Vance. Anytime. And while I pull this up, we're going to run some commercials. So if you don't want to see commercials, now's your chance to sub. We're going to run 90 seconds of commercials. We'll be right back in 90 seconds. And Zrobot with the raid, party of 4. Thank you so much for the raid. Talvat's here, subscription for 29 months. Thank you so much. Cameras, man, I swear. That's the bane of my existence, really. All right, let's go. All right, we are back with another match of the night. Introductions, please. On the left, you know him as the French-Canadian Crusher. He's been on a tear, and he's looking to add another notch on the belt. DAS player out of Canada with an NTSC PB of 812,000. Give it up for Marts! And his opponent over on the right, another DAS player out of the United States. This player, though, has an NTSC PB of 1.1 million, looking to put a stop to the Marts winning streak here. We'll see if he's able to do it. We've got M149. All right, you want Colin Seed? Colin Seed, there you go. 4 Alpha, Charlie 4, British Columbia. Let's do this. Let's try not to play caca as I've done today. Oh, ho, ho. We'll see here what you do. Ho, ho, ho. That was bad, and I should feel bad. As these players put in their seed. Will likely be a 18 affair. It's both of these players. Oh, I mean, I'm perhaps giving a little too much credit to Marts, but yes, competent 18 players. And yes, Marts has not lost in the last 12 games. So Marts has really, he's been on a tear. This is a whole new Marts. I think he took all the beatings and all of the shamings to heart and said, you know what, I'm going to start being a good player. And so far, so good. We'll see if he's able to keep that momentum up. But both players are ready to go, so let's do this. This is Marts and M149. We're going to count down this game number 1. Will the streak come to an end? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And already M149 with a little bit of messiness. There we go. Is that Baja Blast? Well, we'll have to find out. Yeah, this is one of my favorite Carl Casey tracks here. If you like the music you're listening to, head over to YouTube and look up White Bat Audio, the music stylings of Carl Casey, giving friendlies and really classic Tetris League, pretty much anything that Kingsman does, providing the music for us. It's copyright-free music. All you need to do is give him credit, which, as a streamer, having somebody to put music together and actually have it be somewhat decent is a big thing. So I don't know what happened. It was good just a little bit ago, so I'll fix it. I think he's an emulator player, so yeah, that it just kind of bounced up. All right, there's the long part. There's the Tetris. 114 plays 137. Marts in charge through the first 44 lines. What's that, Gilded?
Colin is to blame for everything.
Oh, thank you, Cleveland Tom. All right, board getting up a bit high there for M149, but gets the Tetris to bring the stack down. 187, absolutely murdering it. 191 for Marts, takes the lead. And Marts with a slight hang of that bar. Luckily was able to clean it up pretty quickly, but you saw the reaction and the little wince there. Currently at 241, 264 for M149 is probably holding out for a square or an L. Or I guess a J piece would have been a better piece, but 267 plays 265, all knotted up here, 80 lines in the books. We'll see what happens as we gear up toward transition here. I mean, both of these players are pretty decent at 18, but 19 is where it could certainly fall apart, especially if you are not careful. right, M4149 does manage to get the well back open, but still having to place these pieces in awkward placements and just getting S-bursted. Oh, I love the adjustment for that T. That was really smart. But yeah, neither player getting a bar. And M149, you kind of see the shake of the head. Sealed the well, got 2 bars, and was unable to use them for a score. Marts with a nice sloping stack, has some burn options, takes the safety triple, and takes a double bar in, gets the Tetris. So this is just a game of bad stencil playing bad stencil. Let me fix Marts just a little bit. I would say this is probably not your fault. It's probably the person in front of you, but no, it's actually your fault because you've been playing Tetris for how long, yet you still can't seem to ever get on stencil. I see him shaking his head. He knows. The day Marts gets on stencil, oh my gosh, level 19 for M149 kind of caught him by surprise, caught me by surprise as well, and yeah, I could have top out at 369, so Marts at 368 has a short chase down, but this not free. Bar in, triple will definitely do it. 374 into transition, and congratulations, Marts. You're on the board first. GG. Yeah, feels das, man. And Marts perhaps maybe wanted to get to that 400K to make it feel like he actually deserved to win that one. Now you gotta wonder, Marts has 2 kids in his house that have both been playing very good Tetris. I mean, one is the current Twitch TV champion, and the other one certainly could be a contender for it. And, you know, Mart's perhaps saying, you know what, I can't have my kids being better at me, or better than me at the game I love, so I'm going to start stepping it up. And so far, so good. He's got 1. And both players ready to go. So let's do it. Game number 2, Marts on the march. Let's see what happens in game number 2 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Bar SL, or bar SJ. So yes, we are good to go. So I'd like to thank you all for spending your Monday with me. It's, of course, most people say the worst day of the week. Well, not when I'm streaming, right? Yeah, I used to tell Kingsman when he was doing Fridays and Burbs was doing Mondays before I, started really streaming and I was just kind of watching. I said it just doesn't feel like Monday or Friday if there was no Tetris, and like I kind of needed it a little bit to make my week better. So I'm hoping that if that's what you need to make your week better, I'm providing that for you. If I'm making it worse for you, well, sucks to be you. Oh, man. Nice adjustment there from Marts. Pulled that piece back over to set up for the Tetris because he saw the bar in the window. Now, the old Marts, he probably wouldn't have seen that. Now, see, setting up that long bar dependency, I would have actually just stuck that all the way over to the left and gone with the delayed burn instead of, setting up the bar dependency. But it is going to work out. He does get the long bar. Gonna have to do a little bit more cleanup, but definitely at a much safer height. And that's a beautiful T. Turns it upright. And a beautiful J. And just like that, everything's all cleaned up. And lost DAS and then could not get that J piece. Able to get that bar over, though. All right, so Mart's really going to need to dig in here. M149 is clean. 176. Add a Tetris, go to 199. As Lucy is skipping around the house at Marts' misfortune. Wow, say that 5 times fast. At Marts' misfortune. That's hard to say. Oh, missed adjustment there for Marts. You kind of see shaking his head. I think he knew. But M149 has been continuing to score at 211. Long bar in, another Tetris go to 234. 171 for Marts, starting to fall a bit behind here. Needs to get out of this dig, reset this board all the way back to the bottom. Beautiful bar. Did not adjust the T. But has cleaned up the stack. He's back down to the bottom. Going to start stacking now for a Tetris. And there's a long bar. There's the Tetris. M149 with a slight square misdrop. Yeah, I was wondering what he was going to do to solve that, because really he had the opportunity to go flat with the L, but then the L piece didn't come, so he kind of had to then create another dependency and then just said, I'm going to stick the long bar down there and clear it out, which is probably the right move. I mean, we're halfway to level 19, so still got some time to bring the stack down, but, you know, has allowed Marts to catch up a little bit now. Marts is at 228. Add a Tetris, go to 251. M149 is at 300,000, but he is also a Tetris worth of lines ahead, so it is really about a 2 Tetris lead. And Marts did not have dash for that bar, it looked like. He definitely has dash for that one. Long bar in, Tetris 274. M149 go to fire back 326. And I like the placements of these flat Js. You know, I wasn't too thrilled with that one because it ended up creating a J dependency, but he did get 2 quick bars. Going to knock down another quick Tetris. And just like that, we've all knotted up. Tetris there for M149. Mart's going to set up for the Tetris here. Or maybe not. Did not fill the J dependency with the eyepiece. That's a little concerning, but it is going to work out. Mart's getting all the right pieces. But that luck is not going to last forever. We are gearing up. Transition in less than 20 lines. Bar in for M149. Go to 418. 468 for Marts, who gets a quick long bar and a Tetris. Go to 391. And you can see Marts filling out that left side. That is the right call. I want to make sure you enter 19 clean with a couple of burn options, because that speed increase from level 18 to 19 is very difficult, especially for a DAS player. All right, he is ready and waiting, still filling out the left. Would love a square. And yeah, square coming a bit too late, and now this board. Okay. Yeah, and the board getting out of control, but gets that bar, but gonna transition up very high. Not gonna be able to get that T over. Gets the bar for the triple, but yeah, I don't know how Marts lives this. This is gonna be a lot of hard work, and yeah, he's stashing pieces over, and he's toast at 471. 526 for M149. He is good for game number 1. I'm sorry, game number 2. And M149 going to finish out with Tetris there and give up the goose at 617. GG. How does Toast feel about all these people stealing his name, says Harami Maharu. Well, I've been saying he's Toast for a lot longer than Toast has been in the Tetris community. Well, let's count this down. This is game number 3. Marts and M419, or M149 are all tied up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh, man. Now I have to speak French. Okay. GG, or GG. Ne t'inquiète pas, Marts. Reste calme. So, okay. I don't know what inquiete... I don't know what that means, but I do know it's saying the N and pa makes it, like, do not. So it's probably saying, like, don't worry, stay calm. Maybe something like that. I know I talked Friday about the different languages, and I actually took French, but I haven't spoken it or used it in so long that it's like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Oh, M149 almost lost it right there, but luckily was able to get that bar over. One of my favorite sayings in French that I learned was Je voudrais une lemon presse. Right? Citron pressé. That's it. Citron pressé. That's I want a lemonade. Je voudrais. I want. Oh, it's 149 at 122. I think we got to call on our current friend, Grand Designs.
No, 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 no!
Topping out at 122, Marts is good at 151 and is now on match point. The thunder distracted me. I'm glad it wasn't my terrible French. Je voudrais un citron pressé. You know what's also really fun to say in French? 19. I just bit my tongue. Yes. Say 19 in French. 19. All right, both players are ready to go, and since I'm in a French-speaking mood, we're going to count this down. This is game number 4. Let's count it down from 4 in 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. 19. Yeah. 10 is 10, and 9 is 9. And how you say 19 is 10-9. Which is actually... Okay, let's talk a little bit about the French language. It's like, how do you say 21? Oh, it's easy. You say 21. Okay, how do you say 31? 2011. Like, really, France? That's how you're going to count? Marts did not make the adjustment there, but it's going to work out. The right pieces come here. He's at 11,000, waiting for the first bar to score. Here we go. Bar in Tetris. I mean, that's how we say 2011. Yes, but that's not how we say 31. Right? We have a word for 30. They don't. They say 2011. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right? I think I just counted to 20. I have some French speakers at work, and so when I jump on a call with them, I always say, like, ça va? And, like, it takes them a minute for them to even realize I'm speaking French, because they don't expect. Like, I was in Portugal for our kickoff last year, or I guess it was in January, and I said, "Oh, j'ai mal à la tête," which means I have a headache. I mean, really, it means I have sickness in the head. J'ai mal à la tête. Like, I feel I have sick in my head. But I said that, and my friend Matt goes, "Oh, I didn't know who that was. I did not expect to hear French on the bus." Because we were in Portugal, right? He's like, let alone I heard it from the American IT guy. I count very well in French. Thanks. Is that what that means? I count? So 2, it means you, like you count. Très bien means very well in all français. Well, thank you, Etienne. Yeah, I don't normally speak a lot of French, so maybe I should start. I think I told this on Friday. I learned a lot of Chinese in my previous role because I had my China team, right? So, you know, I interfaced with them 15 hours a week or something like that. Oh, hold on. Marts is in a lot of trouble here. This is a bad dig situation. That hang of that S, that's probably going to do it, man. Yeah, 205 Marts. Oh, no. It's going to top out. Say, no, no, no. As M149 ties up the set once again, and we are going to a decider. GG. Oh, you're right, Tron. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I forgot that 30 existed, and there was 40. It's like 70. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. See, that's what happens when you don't use the language for a while. C'est dommage. Yeah. All right. Decider time. Un decider. Would it be or un? I think it'd be un, right? Soixante-dix-neuf. And it looks like Marts is going out for a cigarette. Oh, Judy, I am smoking in the house. Remy just got his first 19 start max out. Oh, no way. Yay, GG. So there's a max out that happened in the Marts house. Let's see if Marts is able to capitalize. But good job, Remy. I hope you had it recorded, because if you didn't, it doesn't count. All right, both players are ready to go, so let's get it on. Decider time, Marts and M149. Let's count it down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And no. Stop the presses! Stop! Who messed up? Who messed it up? Top out, please. Loud. Yes, top out. Seeds are wrong. All right. Who messed it up? What was the seed? All right, you know what? We're going to 9F. 9F, C4, BC. All right, let's do it again. Counting it down for real this time. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Winterra's here checking out the queue saying, hey, what am I up? So we got the conclusion of this one, which will be about 6 minutes. And then we'll have a Twitch TV championship. But we'll take a brief intermission while I assist putting the kids away for the night. And then we will go into the Winterra and Firedox 39 cap match. The rivalry continues. Which, don't sleep on that, because that's probably going to be one of the better matches tonight. I hope, anyway. It has the potential to be. That three-way was pretty nice. I mean, unless your name was Tired, right? If your name was Tired, you're probably not too thrilled about it. Let's go, players. That's allez les joueurs, right? Allez meaning like let's go. Oh, those back-to-back bars, triple bars. Oh, just toying with M149. Actually, could have plugged that square hole with 2 of those bars and then scored, but you can never count on getting 3 bars in quick succession like that. We'll get another bar after a slight misrotation double flip action there. You got to see the wince a little bit, but we'll get another bar and another Tetris. 169 plays 92, M149 ahead by 3 Tetrises. Well, Ninja needs to be done by 9 p.m. to attend a TGM meeting. Well, whose fault is that? So, I guess I will not, I won't put my kids to bed. I'll just leave them awake. That's fine, we'll just jump right into it. It's beautiful to watch. You're impressive. It moves fast. Okay, so you think this is fast? Watch. Wait until you see not the next match, but the match after. The Winterra and Firedox. They'll probably play at level 29 speeds, which is just way fast. All right, well, this one is for the winner of the night between Marts and M149. Is coming down to this deciding game number 5. We are 80 lines in the books. M149 having about a 150,000 point lead here over Marts, trying to put an end to the winning streak. You know, like I said, Marts hasn't lost a friendlies match in the last 12 games, so very impressive run here for the French-Canadian Crusher. There's a bar, there's a Tetris. And I love how he's filling out the left. That is very disciplined play. He could have set up to get Tetris ready, but making sure that you have a filled out left is way more important than getting Tetris ready. That's a lot of what newer players do is they try to get ready for that Tetris and always sit Tetris ready, and then it ends up biting them. You're going to see Marts did make that miss shift, but that just happens. So it's 291 playing 486. M149 on pace here for a 520 525, maybe even a little bit better transition. Long bar in, Tetris going to take him to 509. Another bar in, another Tetris for both. 532 plays 337, a 200,000 point lead here for M149 as we are gearing up for transition. The final 15 lines of 18 are upon us. My kid is such a good listener. 8:30, the Alexa timer went off for him, and he just went up right to bed. Oh, Marts, wow! Gets that quick tap. Oh, Lincoln bonked his head. All right, gonna hit transition at 393. 587 for M149. Neither player able to score. And just like that, Marts has topped out. The winning streak has come to an end. 402, the final score from Marts. Congratulations, M149. Play this out. I'll give you your heart, and you're on the big one. M149 gives it a shrug and says, meh. Just doing what I need to, dog. All right, yeah, 672, the final score. So GG's to your boy, M149. Coming up next, Ninja of Ninjas challenges our Twitch TV champion, Rocket Remy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes. In fact, you know what? I will run a commercial. So if you're not subscribed, do that now. Commercial, 90 seconds. So we'll be back in 90 for those of you who are not subscribed. And if you are subscribed, you can watch me do it live. You'll watch the jank. So here we go. So what we'll do is we'll go to our 1v1 scene. And it's going to play the ding, ding, ding. But, yeah. Because I set this up. All right, well, let's change some stuff. So I'll show you all how it's done. Just go through here and subtract the hearts. We'll change the player name. You are not Marts, you are Remy. And you are not M149. You are Ninja of Ninjas. And we don't have to do much for Remy. He's rip-roaring ready to go. Oops. Yeah, we'll do it here. Sorry, I screwed up. I'll go into my player 2 scene, and I will update so-and-so. Your name is Ninja of Ninjas 5. It could be Marts' brother, he says. Or it's just Marts' son. And we're just going to reset the transform. Boop. To make up for the bad stencil. Then we'll go here. Oh, you know what I need to do? Actually, I'm going to do more work that's absolutely necessary. No, I'm not, because we're in a hurry. So let's just go like this. Bonk. And we'll give our boy the championship belt. There he is, your current reigning champion for Twitch TV. Right there. See if we can get more Remy in the frame here. Yeah, we can. And we have more ninja, so let's see. You're live from the jank. It's Colin hosting Tetris. Oh yeah, we've got a lot of ninja. Yeah, let's do that. Ninja rolling. There, I'll get a little bit of the rolling going. All right, introductions, please. On the left-hand side, he is our Twitch TV champion and is looking for another notch on the belt. I feel like I said that about his dad. He's a DAS player out of Canada with an NTS CPB of 1.1 million. Give it up for Rocket Remy! And the challenger, hyper tapping and actually rolling right now, has an NTS CPB of 1,094,000. He is a host of a myriad of Tetris things, and he's got a TGM meeting in 24 minutes. Give it up for the Ninja of Ninjas! All right, you want Colin Seed? I'll give you Colin Seed. There you go, E505DF. All right, Remy's ready to go. The Ninja Force is here, says Jedi Evan. Both players are ready to go, so let's get this on. A title belt, the Twitch TV Championship on the line. Let's count down game number 1 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, looks like Ninja is rolling for this. Remy is a DAS player, but we saw in our Super Show that Remy is capable of the roll as well, so... Well, maybe 29 speed might be a factor? Probably not, but you never know. Bar in, Tetris for Remy. And you know what? I'm going to adjust because it looks like Remy's on his scene, and his scene might be a little bit better than his dad's. So let's... reset the transform. Yeah, not by much. Well, if there's one thing for sure about the Marts household, they sure don't know how to use a stencil. That explains why it's messed up then. Okay. There, that's probably the best I'll get it, honestly. All right, it's 228 playing 116. Remy out in front. 324 for Remy, who is looking pretty sharp here at the first 63. 232 for Ninja of Ninja is a bit off the pace, but, you know, Ninja is using that new playstyle, the rolling, so probably not as effective as he was with tapping, but perhaps the long game is what he's after here. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. So do these have prize pools, says Moxoy? So, no, we don't for friendlies. These are friendly matches. However, this fight, or this battle right here between Remy and Ninja of Ninjas is for that purple belt. So, we kind of have a pro wrestling feel here in Tetris Friendlies. So, we have championship belts, and this tier is the Twitch champion. It is pretty much an open competition for anybody below a 1.1 PB. That's 1.1 million score. So both Ninja of Ninjas and Remy are on that mark. However, maybe not for long now that both of these players are starting to roll. The Twitch belt might have to be vacated soon. But they are playing for that purple belt. And this is an open challenge belt. It's almost similar to like the 24/7 belt where, you know, anytime that the belt is challenged for, it has to be accepted if the player is able. Like, the player can't just turn it down because they don't want to, but obviously if the player's not around, like no, I'm not home, I can't play tonight, then yeah, that would be an excuse. But yeah, they would have to, you know, defend the belt every week, so to speak. And I believe when Anpu was the champion, he defended that, as did Dan V. Both held onto that belt forever, and they defended it every week, day in, day out. So now we do have different events that do have the prize pools, like different tournaments, like our monthly tournament over at Classic Tetris Monthly. We have the Classic Tetris League, where that's more of like a league format that has a prize pool. And of course we have our World Championship and regional events, which, you know, for maybe is a really good time to talk about the upcoming regionals after the conclusion of this one, as we are gearing up for transition. 505 at 116 for Remy, 300,000 for the Ninja of Ninjas. There is a Kaka belt. I made it. It was quite nice. It actually had Marts. It had his face on it. So 553 with one Tetris to give. Nice sloping stack, left to right. Remy with that J-tuck. Not gonna wait for it. And Ninja of Ninjas has transitioned, and he has switched from rolling to tapping. So kind of opposite of what we've seen normal, I shouldn't say normal players, like players that would play an alternate playstyle. They would play, you know, the DAS or the tap on the 18 speed, and then they switch to the roll. But Ninja of Ninjas probably not as confident with the rolling yet, so wants to use the roll on 18 speed, but then toward level 20 and beyond, switch to tap, which he's more familiar with. And Remy probably wanting to switch to the roll. We know he has it in the bank. Can he do a roll switch? Did not have the dash to get that over. Does a nice little quick tap there. But yeah, Remy's board is starting to spiral out of control, and there is nothing else he can be able to do. That left side's completely cut off. 600,000, he's finished. So Ninja of Ninjas, you've got to chase down. 601 is the target. That is about 120,000 points. Bar in Tetris, that'll help get you to 410, but you still need 150 or 190 to go. Ninja was not tapping since the game started, Marts. Ninja was definitely rolling. Bro, don't call me a liar. I literally watched you. I watched you roll. I was watching you. Trying to gaslight me? I don't think so. All right, 519 has brought this within a chaseable target score. Again, looking for 601. Currently at 522. 90,000 points is what's needed, pretty much. That is about 4 Tetrises. There's one. Now, hold on. Hold on a second. This is not free. Oh, that left's the right side! Switching to roll. Oh, no way! And Remy, at 600,000, is going to hang on to take game number 1.
Come on, man!
Yes, good effort. Agreed. All right, we're moving on. Game number 2. Remy can't believe his eyes. Got a gift from Ninja. And we'll keep an eye on Ninja's hand. So, like, everybody over here is trying to gaslight me. Next thing you're going to be telling me is that the moon landing was real and that the Earth is round. All right, Ninjas is ready to go. As is Remy, so let's count this down. Game number 2, Remy on the march. The challenger needs a win here. Let's count it down. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Maybe Remy could rocket to the moon. And he could determine if we actually were there in the first place. So, let's talk about the moon. All right. No, I am not one of those people that denies that we went to the moon and all that. I believe it, and yeah, it is what it is. But we just went back to the moon, but we didn't actually land. We just went around it. Like, why? I mean, I get the intent, like, you gotta test it, make sure that you can go to deep space, blah, 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 but, like, at the same time, like, what a kind of waste. Like, you were there, might as well land. A Tetris from Remy. If that didn't wake you up, I don't know what will. 100,000. He made the adjustment for that Tetris. You can see the head nod. He was excited about that one. 101. Add a Tetris. Go to 123. 140 for the Ninja of Ninjas. Yes, I did know that they went the farthest away. I know that. But, like, they could have landed on the moon. And what I don't know is, like, we went to the moon in the 50s, right? Why haven't we been back? Like, what stopped us from going back? Was it just, like, we didn't believe we wanted to do it anymore? Or my guess would be it was too expensive. We couldn't justify the cost because we were too busy, studying ducks in Africa or whatever. But yeah, I am fully on board with the space program. Like, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, that's what I thought it was too. Probably budget cuts. The almighty dollar sings. And I mean, when we were doing it in the 50s, right? It was a space race. It was between us and Russia who could get there first. Like, I don't think we were in a space race type situation this time. Oh, now hold on. Oh, able to get that piece over. That's a nasty square for Ninja, so he is not out of the woods yet. He needs an L piece. He needs it now. Bar will work. Now he needs a lot of help. A very dependent board, but getting it done the way he needs to. An L piece would be great. Where's the L? Give him the L. He's going to take the L. 247 says, what the heck, man? 277, the champ. On the board again, 2-0, and is now on match point. Very convenient that we're back in space travel when AI is looking realistic. You might have something there. I don't know. Generative AI is still kind of out there. But yeah, Mart's saying, tough game for them both. I agree. But Remy hanging in there. Has the vertical eye tuck. Whoop! And Barin Tetris. 315 in the final score. And Jedi Evan saying there's an RNG conspiracy against Ninja of Ninjas. Well, we'll just see about that, because both players are ready. The champion, 1 game left. Ninja of Ninjas needs to win out. Let's see what happens in this game number 3 as it breaks free in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. You see Ninja of Ninjas wearing the Jonas Neubauer Cup t-shirt. That is, of course, one of our regional events. Give you a list. We do have some more regional events coming down the pipe. We, of course, have Portland, Oregon, which was just announced not too long ago. That will be happening. Oh, when does it happen? If I could find the stupid thing. Oh, it's right in front of my face. Yes, April 18th and 19th. So this weekend in Portland, come see Zro. He'll be there April 18th and 19th at Reed College in Portland. Right after that one, we will have the... Oh, we already had Toronto. Midwest. The Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, April 24th through 26th. Come be a part of history. And then we'll have CTWC France in Montpellier, May 1st through the 3rd, which that will be a fun time. We'll see all of our French friends over there, like Gunter and Macy, hopefully. And then we'll bring the fun back home to the Motor City. That's right, CTWC Detroit, May 9th. I will be there, so if there's any reason for you to come to the Detroit Regional, it's to hang out with me, right? And then we're going to hold on to our shows because we have one more live event coming in June, and that is June 5th through 7th, our almighty World Championship. That's right, we hosted here twitch.tv/Classic Tetris and Classic Tetris 2, Classic Tetris 3, Classic Tetris 4, Classic Tetris 5, Classic Tetris 6, and all the way probably to 8. But we will have a lot of fun there, and I'll be there as well, so don't miss that. If you can't catch it live, well, there's something wrong with you because you need to be there. But if you can't catch it live, come to here, this channel, and watch all the action. 245,000 at 57 lines, 224 at 55 for the Ninja of Ninjas. Yeehaw is saying, come see Vince, Bidwell, Burb, Yeehaw, and a bunch of other cool people at Midwest. Well, I would say that they are all cool, but not you, Yeehaw. Just kidding. Oh, Remy. Remy's setting up for something fierce here. Where's the bar? There's no bar. He's going to burn it away. Hold on, he's set back up. Where's the bar? A Tetris for Remy and a clean one. 301 plays 296. The aggression paying off here for the Twitch TV champ. The prospect of Remy getting really excited about anything makes the show. If he wins, I want to see him fist pumping and screaming at the camera. All right. Remy, win the game and give the fans what they want. Now, if Ninja of Ninjas is able to turn around and reverse sweep this, that would also be a fist pump, jumping around moment. Remy never screams. I don't believe that for a minute. I was actually going to say, I'm sure he screamed when he's seen Marts walk around the house in a towel. I'm sure I'd scream. $410 for Remy, $403 for the Ninja of Ninjas, who set up to get Tetris ready, but now going to have to stick some more weight over the well. So this is a tight one here, because Ninja of Ninjas is also behind in the line count, so this lead not as big as it would appear. Bar in Tetris for Ninja of Ninjas, 430, 433 for Remy. A 1 Tetris lead if you factor in pace, but as I always say, pace don't mean nothing if you can't score the points. Ninja of Ninjas with a T-spin opportunity will get the long bar for the Tetris, holding out for this T. T does come, and nice little, I think that was a JD spin. Meanwhile, Remy going to hit transition at 461. And did not want to go Akibar with either of those two bars, which is probably the right call, because that's a little aggressive on the transition in 19. But both players are there. 489 playing 466. Ninja of Ninjas has fallen a bit behind in the score, and that left side for Ninja of Ninjas is looking concerning. Can he get anything to the left? But he is still in Dig City. Oh, Ninja of Ninjas at 472. He's done. And guess what? You can make your meeting. You'll be right on time. Congratulations to the Rocket. You get it done. In it decider. GG. Now, hold on. Hold on. Just wait. I have to do this, I have to do this, and I have to take this to false. And we have to say control audio via OBS. And then we have to say player 1 live stream, and we have to go to advanced audio properties, and we have to say this. Okay. I don't know if they have the audio on. It doesn't look like it. Maybe Marts can come adjust the audio so we can hear Remy celebrate his victory and retaining the belt. So there it is. The belt remains with the Rocket. Your champ. We do have audio now. It's very quiet. All right, we'll wait. We'll wait until he finishes out 7:05, but he is mic'd up, so we'll be able to hear the celebration. $7:18.
What a dig.
There we go. GG's to the Rocket. The fist bumps and the yelling.
Baby.
And the victory sip of Sprite. So, congratulations. You're a winner, Remy. Make some noise. The most anticlimactic celebration ever. All right, GG. We're moving on.
Yes, sir. Close it.
Coming up next. Oh my gosh, if I can type. Loud. We are going to have Winterra and Firedox. Are we at the end of the night already? Holy smokes. Maybe I could have taken 6. I thought with a little bit of a later start I wouldn't be able to, but we are flying through the night. I think it's because my time between matches is pretty good. I think I have that down to a really good pace. Alright, so first thing I need to do is I need to go back into this scene. And I need to put muted equals true. Firedox, what are you wearing on your head, bro? Yeah, imagine the barbershop quartet guy asking you what you're wearing on your head. Couldn't be me. Yeah, I see it. Everybody will be seeing it in just a moment when I go live. I am waiting for Winterra to move her camera. All right, I'm just going to let you mess with your camera. I'll fix it after you get it all settled. Because I'm, like, messing with it and you keep moving it. It's fine. Take your time. You got 17 seconds, and then all hell breaks loose. Yeah, I should be able to. It's fine. All right, we are into our final match of the evening. Introductions, please. Oh, wait, hold on. It's the final match of the evening, so I have to do this. I forgot.
Well, looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event.
Introductions on the left-hand side. She is a roller. She is a cat. She is Wintera. NTSCPB of a whole lot. 2.4 million. And her opponent, wearing red ears, is a roller with an NTSC PB of 1.6. Man, they grew up so fast. I remember back saying that Firedox was at 999,000 points. Or 98. Something like that. By the way, this was an all-camera stream. Awesome. No PFPs. Love to see it. It really does help with the viewership, getting to see players' reactions and the craziness. So, ATN, if you're still here, take a look at the speed that Firedox is playing on, because this is the speed that is quite ridiculous. And Savage Octagon is here. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my god, party of 11. Let's go Tetris. Well, let's go you. In fact, I'm feeling special. So, shout out Savage Octagon. There you go. If you want, you can join us in following them. I know nothing about them other than they gave us an 11-person raid. And I feel generous, so click that little heart at the top of the chat if you like to follow. It costs nothing. And it makes a streamer feel all warm and fuzzy. Alright, you guys want a seed? I'll give you a seed. You want to see what's based? Schnorks? What a name. I love that name. Schnorks. 8-9 double D Alpha Niner. That's 8-9er D Delta Delta Alpha Niner. A Colin seed. What's based is blaming bad pieces on the commentator. Because that's what everybody does. This song is such a slam. I love it. Colin Seed world record this match. Agreed. Let's see it. All right, YouTube Dave is here on Twitch saying, let's go Winterra. Yeah, I had to do a double take. I know, so close to 6-7, I know. Let's go! Both players ready to go! Our final match! Winterra, Firedox, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Welcome in, Omenvoir, other host of Monday Night Mayhem. Coming in to check on me, saying like, alright, is Colin really doing what he's supposed to do? He only does this like once a month. Does he even know what he's doing? That was a pretty good impression, by the way. I sounded just like him. Bar in for Winterra, who will get a Tetris. Firedox is already on the board with one, but a very messy stack. And Winterra setting up for a dirty Centerwell. Dirty Centerwell Tetris for Winterra. High acrobatics early off in this game number 1. A bit uncalled for, but hey, we're all here for it. Random with Titan saying this is a good matchup here. Absolutely. This has been a rivalry that has really started to blossom. You know, Firedox and Winterra a little bit out of the weight class for Firedox, but, you know, Firedox, no doubt, wanting to push himself to make himself a better player, and you're only going to get better when you challenge yourself. And that's exactly what he said when he took the match from, or the challenge from Winterra, saying, you know what, I'll play a little bit out of my league to make me better. But both players, absolutely monsters. I remember back in the day, and I said this kind of in the intro, where Firedox was just shy of that max out score, right? He had been trying and trying and trying, and I think his best score was a 996 or 998, something like that. And, you know, it was just, you know, curse of the Firedox, if you will. Then he finally got it, and then he was awake. Like, there was no stopping him. And that's why he was put on Kingsman's, Fave 5. I believe that's right. I think he was Fave 5 this year. And of course, Winterra, of course, too cracked. Made a big mark at the World Championship last year. Can you believe it was already almost a full 12 months ago where Winterra took Pixel Andy to a decider? And Winterra was up 2-0. She had to get reverse swept by Pixel Andy. She says, oh, stop. Don't talk about that. No, that's an achievement. To have Pixel Andy, one of the best players, in fact, the second best player in Tetris at one time, on the ropes like that. It's just a phenomenal job. And I will keep singing your praises until you win CTWC. And then I'll say you're a cheater. Yeah, I believe I was sitting... Where was I? I was sitting next to Ronkley and Violet for that match. And we were, like, toward the front row. Back-to-back bars for back-to-back Tetrises. Winterra at 404. Score not found. 349 for Firedox. We are approaching 100 lines. We'll see transition again at 130 lines. And we'll see a transition again should our players make it past the 19 speeds to double the speed for double the fun one more time. And this is a 39 cap. So typically friendlies is not capped, like you go forever and ever, but these players say, no, I want that 39 cap. I want to get used to a 39 cap. So that's what they're doing. They're treating this like a normal competition. I am coming to CTWC. I have everything booked. I got the hotel. the flight. I think I have the tickets. I gotta just double check. I can't find the confirmation email, but I'm pretty sure I bought them. So I still got time to figure that out. But yeah, I'm staying at the headquarters hotel, which would be nice that I don't have, you know, a major walk or anything. I will tell you, so this was kind of scary. Last year at the after party, I was walking back to my hotel, and it was a little bit of a walk, but it wasn't too bad. And I just hear this guy yelling at me, and you know, I grew up in the hood. I knew when somebody calls your name and says, "Hey, come here, hey," and they're trying to get your attention, you just ignore them. You ignore them like you don't hear them. You do not want to get into that. You just keep walking, right? If someone says, "Hey, let me catch that," you don't stop. You just keep walking. Well, guys yelling, "Hey, mister." And I'm like, absolutely not. I am not stopping. I am not acknowledging you. And yeah, that was the right call. So, all right, what's also the right call is this score check. 529 into transition for Firedox, 596 for Winterra. So off to the races, level 19. Both players very clean stacking. Firedox stacked up high to the sky, taking a couple doubles because there is no bar in sight. Finally shows, gets a Tetris, 559, making a double go to 584. 621 for Winterra, who is also set up and ready and waiting for this Tetris. And there's the bar, there's the score. Winterra now 649. So about a 50,000 point lead here for Winterra. But Firedox is ahead in the line count, so that lead is bigger than it would appear, bar in Tetris for Firedox, 645. Bar in another Tetris, 708. Firedox having to do a little bit of burning here. Nothing too dangerous. Just going to slow him down even further, which is pace that he cannot afford to lose here against Winterra, because Winterra is such a dangerous player. Double in for Firedox to open up the well. 690. Sloping stack left to right. Gets a long bar. Gets the Tetris. 719. 767 for Winterra. Creates a delayed burn. Gets the Tetris first. Now going to go to work cleaning up that hole in column 3. Cleans it up nicely. And now going to have to set up a couple of delayed burns with the L piece placed upright in column 10, and Firedox making a slight misdrop that was solvable by a couple of tucks, but did not get the tuck, but can go for the long bar, slithering in like a snake. Bar in for a single, but that's going to help add some much needed weight to the side of the board so he can begin digging this out. And we'll set up for the Dirty Tetris. Does the bar show? The answer is no, so he's going to find another solution. Has a T-spin opportunity, nails the T-spin, but gets a double flip. Had the clear for the Dirty Tetris, but did not get the piece rotation correctly. He's going to have to put that behind him, but he is running out of time before the 29 speed. He is on level 27. A mere 20 lines remain before we see that speed double one more time. Bar in Tetris, 841, 894, level 26 for Winterra. Winterra on a tear here. Pun not intended. Bar Tetris 927. She'll be looking for the max out into level 29. Perhaps a little bit earlier with perfect play. But Drowdy Seed. Firedox hits level 29 at 892. He's off to the races. 998 for Winterra. And very efficient play. She'll get the max out with this long bar here. Bangs it down. 833. That is 1,033,000 points. We will have Firedox into level 30. These pieces flying. And Winterra trying to set up for one final Tetris, but going to take the double, but immediately have a couple of misdrops. And yeah, this board is going to be unsalvageable if she can't get anything to the left. She cannot. 838. The board just clearly fell apart at transition. So Firedox, you've got a chance. Listen to me. A39 is your target. A39. Can he get the bar? Way too late. Oh, he's not going to get that. And you can see him say farts. 964, the final score. That bar timing just a bit off. And the wincing Winterra hanging on. Tried to give a gift to Firedox, but unfortunately he was unable to whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Capitalize, that's the word. All right, we are moving on to game number 2. Actually just murdered by the controller. I did not press that twice. Well, that'll happen. All right, both players ready to go, so let's get it on. This is game number 2, Winterra on the march. Will Firedox tie things up? Let's find out because game number 2 starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Welcome in over on YouTube, Random with Titan and PH Team Hub. All right, 80,000, a bit of a slow start here for Winterra through the first 23 lines. She gets a T, nails the T-spin, goes to 83,000. 102 for Firedox, who's rocking a center well. But like we saw in that previous game, no long bar coming when he needs it. Finally going to show center well Tetris, 128. Winterra fires back, 106, making it double, go to 129. Firedox going to counter 151. Now we're cooking. Winterra with a little bit of a shadow T, opens it up, gets a T, nails the spin again. Love to see it. All right, there's a nice little bar and a Tetris there to go to 245 at 58 lines, 244 at 56. Long bar in, left well Tetris for Firedox. Firedox has been going with this in unconventional well since he had that little dirty Tetris situation, or center well Tetris, excuse me, not dirty. It was clean. It was just not in row, or not in column 10. There's long bar, there's the Tetris. He's going to continue going with the left well as it's working for him. 313. The area code of Detroit, Michigan. And Firedox long bar in, perfect well transfer. You can see him nodding of approval there. 358, 315 for Winterra. Long bar in, ties it up. Well, actually goes to a 1 Tetris deficit. Sorry, ties up the line count is what I meant to say. It was interesting, when I was at the Wars Live last September at the IX Center in Cleveland. A lot of the people that came over kept saying, like, how many lines? And I'm like, well, you know, lines are good, yeah, but really, like, the classic version is about, you know, not the lines, but your score, right? We go by score attack, not number of lines. But it was an interesting take to hear from other people, because they're like, you know, I could get to like 100 lines, and then I'm like, oh, well, you know, we start on level 18, which would be the equivalent of 180 lines. And then, so I was at my doctor's, it was a couple weeks ago, and there were these little kids that were waiting for their parents or whatever to get out of the doctor's office, and they had their Switch. And so I'm like, oh, you know, kid gamers, you know, I'll talk to them, whatever. So I'm in the waiting room chatting with them, whatever. And on their Switch, they were playing Tetris, like the NES version. And I was like, whoa, you guys are playing NES Tetris. And I was wearing my Tetris shirt. So I was like, I'm actually wearing a Tetris shirt right now. And we got to talking about like the World Championships and Blue Scooty. Apparently they knew who Blue Scooty was from the crashing videos. And then I said, they're like, yeah, I can only do this. But they're like, I can't start on anything higher than level 9. And they're like, it doesn't let you. I'm like, hold A and press start. So I showed them how to do that. And then so they did. They're like, oh, I was like, that'll add 10 levels to your start. And they're like, okay. And then they were playing it, and they started at level, like, 19. And they were like, oh, wow, this is fast. I was like, I know, it's too fast for me, too. But it was kind of cool. So I was doing a little bit of Tetris evangelism, if you will. All right, Firedox hits transition 543, adds to Tetris 567. Winterra joins him at 579. So Winterra had that early top out into 29. They say early top out, right? I mean, she made it to level 29 with the max out, but topped right out at transition. This is a much closer game. As a matter of fact, Firedox is in the lead here at level 20. So Winterra is really going to need to turn it on and then go deep if Firedox keeps this up. But so far, so good. Long bar in Tetris there for Winterra, 622. Add another one with a 648. 673 for Firedox goes Akibar. And there's the long bar for the Tetris. Sets up an eyepiece dependency in the center of the stack. And yeah, gonna have a little bit of a situation here. Has to take a triple. Then steps that back. Is gonna be triple ready again, but not getting the right pieces at the right time. So it's gonna continue to burn. Destination, Burn City, population, you, bro. And yeah, this board falling apart. You kind of see the lapse in concentration here for Firedox. He's going to need to fix this and get back into scoring position, as this is allowing Winterra to take the lead. 737 as Firedox board climbing up and up. That left side going to be difficult to access. Gets that bar over, though. At 722, he's still digging, but now he's got a lot of alternating burn shelves, which should make for more pace being lost. A long bar would be lovely here. It'll give him a double. And Phantom Burn able to recover. Has the center wall back open again. It's only for a double. There's that double. Now he's set up for the Dirty Tetris. Long bar in, Dirty Tetris. But this has allowed Winterra to take about a 60,000 point lead. 840 plays 788, and Winterra is behind in lines by 10. So a full level behind Firedox. But we are gearing up now for the level 29 transition, where we will see the speed increase one final time before it becomes unplayable. Bar in Tetris for Firedox. He's got about 12 more until that transition. Winterra was still 14. 976. Next long bar will be a max out. There it is, bar in, max out, A12. That is 1,012,000. And Firedox hitting level 29 at 906. Goes for a couple easy burns to get the board back into shape and start getting used to these speeds. Meanwhile, Winterra trying to set up for one final Tetris. Nice line spin. And she is ready and waiting. Where's the bar? Not going to show. Takes the double into transition and a triple. A69 plays 927. Here we go, level 29. Tetris for Firedox has some complications on the left-hand side, but he solves it before I can even get the words out of my mouth. That's just how fast these pieces are coming down. A little bit of a missed 4-tap there for Firedox. Fortunately, going to create a long bar dependency. And yeah, this board is out of control, and Firedox unable to do anything else. Winterra at a 1.1 million is good for game number 2 and is now on match point. And that tuck on 29. I mean, Winterra's 29 play is scary. She plays level 29 like it's 19. I mean, you can see setting up for these dirty Tetrises like it doesn't even phase her. And gets to a 1.2 before giving up the goose. GG. And Firedox saying, what am I supposed to do, man? What am I supposed to do? And oh my word, Toad with a raid. Party of 28. Welcome in. I must have missed that. I don't have notifications turned on. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna set up alerts on my end so that when that happens, I can get alerted in my ears. So thank you, Toad. Sorry for the late acknowledgement. All right, Firedox is ready. Winterra gonna take a sip of the roller serum. Right, that's what makes rollers good, is staying hydrated, keeping those fingers nice and lubed up. That sounds very, very wrong. Yes, it's water. I know it's water. I'm trying to be silly. Roller juice. Roller aid. Just drinking straight personal lubricant. Oh my word. Please ready up. Save us all from this torture of me trying to fill time. All right, we've got 2 ready players, so let's get this on. Winterra has Firedox on the ropes. Can she sweep him under the rug? Or will Firedox get on the board? Let's find out, because game number 3 breaks free in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And Winterra with a crazy double flip situation to start us off. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before, but all good in the hood. Long bar in, Tetris. So I did mention this is match point for Winterra, trying to bring the night to a close. And Firedox looking to keep this party alive. I mean, it's a school night, right? Oh, Firedox tried to go for a line spin there and missed the spin timing, but I don't know if that was actually achievable. It might have been. But nonetheless, gets a nice long bar and a Tetris there. So all's good. Everybody's clean. Firedox is stacking for the Tetris. All right, a little bit of a droughty seed here for Firedox and Winter. Firedox having to take the double. There's the long bar of Tetris for Firedox. So was up very high, but the rolling speeds allowing those pieces to get over easy. But that left side a bit concerning. Wants to fill that out. Bar comes first. Tetris for some relief. 50 lines in the books. Firedox 264 after a handful of Tetrises. 176 for Winterra after a couple of burns. But again, Winterra is behind in the line count, about 10 lines, so factoring in pace, it's pretty close. Yeah, Firedox knocking him down. Winterra continuing the dig sequence, so Firedox is amassing a pretty big lead here. 100,000 points real time. Set up for a couple more Tetrises and gets a couple more bars for it. Winterra going to get a nice little dusty Tetris and then takes a single to burn away the block, get back to a clean neutral board position. .381 plays 297. Nice delayed burn there for Firedox. He's at 428 now. 100-line turn is approaching for Firedox. Winterra's still at 87 lines, so still back a little bit. Has to go S-flat delay burn here. And beautiful pieces, stacked wonderfully too. Nice sloping stack, bottom left to right. Bar in, couple of Tetrises for Winterra to go to 389. Firedox is going to counter back with a Tetris of his own, go to 497. Yeah, this is our last match of the evening, so I'd like to thank all of you for coming out and watching and playing and all that you did today. We had a couple of bits. We had a big old raid. Thanks for all the folks that brought their party over here. We appreciate the support. And of course, the party's not over yet. We've got the conclusion of this match to tide us over, and then we will be off until Friday. I believe the Kingsman makes his triumphant return to hosting. Don't quote me on that. We might have a regional, now that I think about it. I don't know. See, it's a little weird. Let me look at the schedule real quick. So we'll have Ian Keith here on Wednesday, April 15th, hosting Square Up. And then we'll have a Friday Night Fights with the Burb Wizard on the 17th. So we still have a boatload of friendlies happening this week. And then our friend Omenwire is back with Monday Night Mayhem on the 20th. And that takes us into regionals. So. Alright, Firedox has transitioned now into level 20 at 608. Winterra has 2 Tetrises available in the tank. Should she get the right pieces. And she'll take the skim in 574. Plays 633. Firedox really looking to motor ahead and apply this pressure to keep the fire alive, so to speak. You know, I'm one of the people, so everybody says it's Firedox, right? Firedox. And I'm like, it's not fired ox. It's fired ox. The ox is fired up. He's fired ox. Or maybe he's an ox that lost his job. He's a fired ox. Oh, man. I'm glad it's the last match of the night. I need to go to bed. Ooh, slight misdrop there for Fired Ox. He's going to have to be careful here. Needs a bar. And that left side, lucky number 7, not good enough. He is topped out. So Winterra, for all the marbles, 778 is your target. Seven, 8. $774. These pieces for Winterra not helpful. 167, 79. Winterra, your champion. Getting it done in a sweep over Fire Docs. Play this out. You're the winner. 8, 10, and going. We'll watch Her Royal Highness finish this out. Ox needs to open a GoFundMe. GoFundMe Ox. Oh. Ox on unemployment. Now that's comedy right there. I don't care who you are. Yeah, Millie. Yeah, that's true. And that's always rough. It's like you didn't have a bad game. You just made a mistake. And that's the worst. Because it's like, oh, you could have done so much better. But I mean, you're looking at a potential CTWC top 8 player right here. I would really like to see if the cards are in it, a Coal Bucket versus Winterra match. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make that happen. On the next friendlies I host, I will have Winterra and Coal Bucket face each other. I think that'll be a good one. All right, we've got another max out for Winterra. That's 3 straight. A89, add a Tetris, go to B26. And just look at this stacking on... Oh, missed the... Right as soon as I compliment the stacking, she makes a misflip. And that left side completely cut off. 1.209 million, the final score. GG's. Winterra. That's it. We're done for the night. Let's go look at my ugly mug, shall we? Hi. We've reached the end of the night. GG's to all of our players. Thank you so much for coming out and playing, supporting NES Tetris and the CTWC and the Classic Tetris channel. My name's Colin. It was an absolute honor to bring you tonight's matchup. I know I had a blast commentating it. I hope you had a blast while I was commentating and you're watching these players. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Thank you for playing. And everybody, thank you all so much for doing what you do to make the world a better place. That being said, we're going to send a raid over to our good friend, the Game Crasher himself, Blue Scooty. He is playing Nestris.org. So we'll go say hi to Blue. And, you know, just for the fun of it, let's just say Blue. Like the rate, if you get into his chat and you say hi, just type the word blue in all caps. Just like this, blue. All right, I just want to, let's do something silly. All right, but we'll be back Wednesday night with Ian Keith. They'll be here hosting Square Up. And then Friday night, the Bird Wizard returns for Friday Night Fights. So you don't want to miss it. We'll have a lot of fun in store. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.